and welcome to your PTE Plus all-in-one course online lessons. Now today's class is the Part 2 introduction of PTE Listening, and we will be focusing on how to increase your effectiveness when preparing for the listening section of your exam. And we'll start by covering some of the key knowledge that you must be clear about. And the first one is knowing how many marks each question type in listening is worth. So in the Part 1 introduction, you would have seen that there are these 8 listening question types. And for each of these, this is the number of questions you will face in the exam. Basically, for most of them, you will face about 2 to 3 of each question type, except for write from dictation, where you may get 3 or 4 of them. Then each of these questions are worth a different number of marks. So you can see here that summarize spoken text and write from dictation are worth the most number of marks each, followed by highlight incorrect words and fill in the blanks. And the rest are worth a lot less. So similarly with the total number of marks that they are worth, write from dictation and summarize spoken text are worth the most number of marks in total. Now, another thing we stress a lot about the PTE examination is the cross-module scoring and contributions and impacts. So your listening question types are not the only ones that add to your final listening score. In fact, about 1/3 of your listening score is determined by some of your speaking question types, specifically repeat sentence, retell lecture, and answer short question. Now, at the same time, some of your listening question types will impact your scores in writing and in reading. So, write from dictation, summarize spoken text, and fill in the blanks. As you saw before, these are worth the most number of marks in listening, and at the same time, they add to about 50% of your writing score, which is a very significant amount. So these question types have quite a bit of influence in determining whether or not you achieve your target score in writing in the end as well. Then you've also got highlight correct summary and highlight incorrect words from listening, and these impact about 10% of your reading score. That's a lot smaller, but it's important to understand that there is this cross-module scoring impact overall. So make sure that you understand that speaking will affect your listening scores quite significantly, and your listening will affect your writing scores to a large extent as well. And keeping all this in mind, what does it teach us about how we should be preparing in order to be truly effective? And the first is for us to spend more time preparing for the question types that are worth more and that are going to make a bigger difference to our final scores in the end. So previously we saw the total number of marks that each of these listening question types are worth. And we also saw that some of them contribute to not just your listening scores, but also to your reading and writing modules as well. So this gives us an idea of their level of importance. And so the two most important question types are summarize spoken text and write from dictation, because they are worth the most number of marks and the biggest proportion of marks, and they also significantly contribute to your writing scores. In terms of their difficulty level, when it comes to preparation, most students find write from dictation still relatively manageable. And with summarized spoken text, a lot of it depends on your ability to pick out the key points that are being said, and also on how familiarized you are with the previous real exam questions, and also with the key techniques to tackle this question type. So you want to be spending a large amount of your preparation time mastering these two question types, and keep in mind that they basically add up to about 50% of your marks already. Now the next one you want to focus on are highlight incorrect words and fill in the blanks, because these are worth quite a few marks
as well. And again, they contribute to 2 modules. Now you'll also see that the third most important question type is highlight correct summary because it contributes to listening and your reading scores. And then the remaining question types are worth fewer marks and also contribute only to your listening section.
Not only that, this also guides our time allocation in the exam itself. Because if you remember from the Part 1 introduction, you saw that the listening part of the exam is split into 2 sections. And for the first section of summarized spoken text, you get one timer of 10 minutes per question, which means that you need to know how to manage that 10 minutes appropriately. And then for the second section, you get one timer of about 23 to 28 minutes for all the remaining 7 question types. So for this section, you'll need to manage your time strategically as well because you want to make sure that you have an appropriate amount of time for the more important question types, especially right from dictation at the end. So in our lessons, we'll not only go through the detailed techniques that has helped thousands of our students tackle the listening section of the exam, we'll also give you the strategies on handling the exam and managing your time. So for example, for summarized spoken text, where you get 10 minutes per question, we'll run you through how you should be splitting up that 10 minutes and using it most effectively. Then also for the remaining 7 question types, because you get one single timer for it, we'll recommend a rough gauge of the amount of time you should be allocating to each of them and how you should be keeping track of your time in the exam, including being strategic so that you leave enough time for right from dictation at the end, because it is the most important question type and it's going to affect your scores significantly more compared to other question types. Not only that, we continuously do significant research into the exam and the questions that come up. So in our lessons, we'll share with you which question types are more likely to have the questions repeat themselves, and therefore how much time you should be spending on revising real exam questions and getting very familiar with them, and how effective that would be. And for our students, you'll be able to access real exam questions both offline and online. For offline, you can download a PDF with over 2,700 real exam questions together with the sample answers, so you can familiarize and practice with them offline. Now, we strongly recommend that you practice with them online in the course as well, because it has even greater benefits from machine scoring and feedback. So you can select to do just the real exam questions and so forth, and they are automatically scored for you. More importantly, for questions like summarized spoken text, where the scoring has many different criteria, the machine will also give you the scores in each of those criteria and help you identify your grammar and spelling mistakes so you can learn from that as well. So you can ensure you're learning the most effective techniques and strategies, and also practicing with the most effective questions and tools in the course, which has already helped thousands of students achieve their target PTE score already. And remember that with the course, you'll always know where your level is at and how ready you are for your exam. This is in the Analyze section of your course, whereby it will automatically analyze all your learning and practicing to calculate your live skills profile for you, including all the cross-module score contributions that we talked about before. So this is going to help you keep track of your performance and assess your readiness to sit the exam. Now, if you see that you're not achieving your target score for listening, the problem could be in your listening question types, or it could also be in your speaking question types as well, because if you remember, the speaking section affects your listening scores to a large extent as well. So if you want to know exactly what you need to work on right now, based on your previous performance and based on your current needs, then go to the home section of your all-in-one course. So you'll see your next focus areas. And what happens is that through analyzing you, your course will determine the top 3 things that are most efficient for you to work on now first in order to get the most uplift in your scores. And this actually calculates live as well. So it'll let you know when you've improved enough and what area you should move into next. And it will guide you on your focus areas all the way to your PTE goal. So today we covered the key information you must know about the listening section of the exam and also how you can be most effectively preparing for it by ensuring that you spend more time on the important question types first, both in your preparation and also in the exam itself. Also, learning and practicing with the most effective techniques and strategies using real exam questions. And finally, working on the areas that are most effective in giving you the greatest uplift in your scores. So remember to work hard and also to work smart. And I'll see you in the next lessons.